So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot. Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Is it finally my Chris Woolsey?
Oh my goodness, how
Yo.
in the world are you doing? It has been too long.
I mean, wait. You see the dramatic pause? Wait. That was me.
I loved it.
Dramatic pause because I was feeling so neglected. I miss you this much.
How in the world have you been doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Now that we're talking again, I'm doing markedly better.
I love it. I know that you have been busy, you've been on tour, you've been working, and you're still juggling all of these different entities. Like, how do you manage to keep up, Chris?
Coffee and Jesus. That's
Yeah,
it.
I'm with it. You know, as the senior communications director, you have Redbox, you have Crackle, you have Chicken Soup for the Soul, and you have something for everyone. You do have the largest selection of free entertainment. And I mean, when it comes down to the best, you're not just giving us something to say you're giving it to us. You're giving us the ultimate hookup, baby.
That we are. We have got something for everyone this month on Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment.
Yes. Now, with that, how do you decide which would be your faves? I mean, because you get so much and you have so many in the library to choose from. This has got to be like the hardest part of your job.
It really is. It is an embarrassment of riches, as they say. Every month when the programming heroes send me the list of what's coming, I just go, there aren't enough hours in the day for me to talk about all of this.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, and then you disperse it to the world. But with that, people can log on, they can stream, and they can get the inside scoop as well. Our summer months, we've been binging, and now it's about time for us to start winding it down. So maybe we're not on the road and traveling. We do have more staycations because we're at home trying to get everything situated and back to school and back on campus. What are some of the things that we can add to our list that's just going to make it feel a little more like home? What you got for me?
Well, so let's start. If we're going to do feeling like home, then let's start with Chicken Soup for the Soul, okay?
Uh-huh.
And if we need a little feel good, I'm not sure that there is a TV series in the history of television that is as much of a comfort hug as the Michael Landon classic Highway to Heaven.
Right?
Yes. Michael Landon, Victor French, who were both also on Little House on the Prairie, by the way.
Yes.
And you know, this is the classic series. Michael Landon is a fledgling angel trying to earn his wings, so to speak. Victor French is this kind of cranky retired police officer, and the powers that be, so to speak, see to it that these two guys have to work together to help folks fix their problems and get their lives on track. And it's just a lovely show. It holds up really well. Michael Landon is just eminently likable. He was just, I mean, I think he was the nation's dad for the longest time. And he's just a lovely individual, and it's a great feel good. So if you need a little comfort viewing, then that is definitely the way to go.
That is a great way to get it kicked off. Highway to Heaven. And when I tell you, I think we all need those reminders as we're just trying our best to earn our wings. Look,
Right?
put that on binge watch list. What else you got for me over there?
Another feel-good title that we have is Bromwell. So as I think you've talked before, you know, there are just so many British dramas that are
Yeah.
ridiculously popular right now, whether it's Downton Abbey or any of, I mean, there's just
Tons.
throw the list out there. There's a ton. Well, Bromwell is kind of a hidden gem that I think is probably one that people have not discovered yet. It's fantastic. So it's starring Gemma Redgrave, who is in Howard's End, which is sort of a legendary British film. And it basically is Downton Abbey. I'm sorry, it is Downton Abbey meets Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Okay.
So it is Gemma Redgrave plays a young doctor in the turn of the century who decides to open up a free clinic in the poorest neighborhood in London. And so not only does she have to overcome all of the struggles of trying to provide medical care for all of these incredibly needy people, but then she also has to overcome the stereotype of being a female doctor in the early 1900s.
Imagine.
And her performance is beautiful. The production value is extraordinary. And it, like I said, I have never seen it anywhere else. And when I watched it, I was like, why is this not everywhere?
It's almost like we're not cutting any corners when you say that there's something for everyone. And then it's even like with the storylines, we can find things that will just mesh, and it gives you a sense of something that just feels so good and it draws you in and you can't let it go.
Okay, so speaking of being drawn in and not being able to let go, we have a crazy series on Chicken Soup for the Soul streaming this month. We've talked about it way back when you and I first started talking. This was a Crackle original series, but now it's come to Chicken Soup for the Soul streaming, and that is The Wall.
Okay, I remember you mentioning it.
Yeah, so this is a crime thriller, and it's unusual for a number of reasons. One is it's actually a French-Canadian series, so it's in French with American subtitles. So again, if you like your European series, this is one you have to check out. If you like thrillers and police procedurals, it's definitely one you have to check out. So it's about this little tiny town that is just below the Arctic Circle. And it's so harsh there that they have to build a gigantic wall around the town to keep the elements out and keep the people alive. Unfortunately, while keeping the elements at bay, it's also hiding a serial killer among the residents.
Hold on a second. So if I do and if I don't, I'm in trouble one way or the other.
Exactly. Either the polar bears or the crazy guy with the knife. It stars Isabel Richer, who is from the series Trauma. I have to tell you, this woman is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. She is unbelievably talented. She steps on the screen and you just immediately go, yes, ma'am, what do you need from me? Yeah. She is amazing. They actually have 2 seasons. You can watch both seasons on Crackle, but we have season 1 on Chicken Soup for the Soul streaming right now. And season 2 just ramps up the intensity, but it is topped. You got to check it out. The Wall season 1.
I got questions that need answers, Chris. I can't just let you swing on by this.
Okay, good.
So do they realize that there's a serial killer amongst them?
They don't know it until they find a body, and then they realize that something's going on. But
okay. I'm like, okay,
so you kind of learn along with the citizens what's going on. So it kind of plays out in real time. Mm-hmm. Man, is it good.
Ooh, okay, I'm loving it. So we have to add Bromwell to our list. What else you got going for me?
Again, sticking with our British theme, we have a fantastic series called Doc Martin. Okay. And this is starring Martin Clunes, who was in Shakespeare in Love, one of my favorite movies. And it is really fun. It does that great thing that the British do, where it's a funny show without being a sitcom, if that makes sense. They can just thread the needle, where they've got dramatic shows with comedic elements and they've got comedy shows with dramatic elements, and you kind of don't know which is which. And that's Doc Martin. It is great. So Martin Clunes plays this almost a savant surgeon. He's like the greatest surgeon in the country, has a mental collapse, and in order to recover, he takes the job of a small town country doctor. So imagine, the greatest scientific mind in the country moving to the boondocks and taking a job as the town doctor. It's hilarious. He obviously just does nothing but butt heads with everybody in town. He's probably on the spectrum somewhere. It's an amazing series. I cannot say enough good things about this. And if I'm recommending it, LaTangela, it's got to be
worth it, because if it made the binge watch list of our very own Chris Woolsey, hey, I'm all in. I got my popcorn and I'm down to ride. And I know that we always have those box hitters whenever we move it on over to Red Box, right? You take it back sometimes and you bring these thrillers. What's topping your charts for this month?
Okay, so you talk about thrillers. Redbox this month has got a ton of thrillers. They're great. One of my favorites of all time, The Usual Suspects.
Story of my life.
Right? Exactly. I mean, you don't get much more star-studded than this. Gabriel Byrne, Kevin Pollak, Benicio del Toro, Chaz Palminteri, Stephen Baldwin, of course, Kevin Spacey, when he was still working. And it's considered one of the greatest caper movies of all time. And it's got one of the greatest twists, in my opinion, in modern cinematic history. Now, I'm not going to tell you what that twist is because I'm not that guy, but
about to say, wait, go ahead and tell us your favorite part, but don't do that because then you'll give it away. So yeah, we're going to have to just watch it.
Right. But in my defense, the movie's almost been out for 30 years. So like, if you haven't seen it at this point, it's on you, but it's an amazing film. And I actually got to hang out with Kevin Pollak the other night at a premiere, and it was a friend of mine's independent film, and Kevin Pollak showed up because he's apparently a friend of the family. And I got to tell you, he was the nicest guy. I mean, a lot of times the celebs will pop in, make an appearance, tick the box, and they take off. He hung out for like 2 hours and was magnanimous and lovely and could not have been nicer.
I love to hear it. And especially when you hear about these superstars who are just bigger than life, to know that they still have a sense of self and love their community and the people who made them who they are. Totally. That is awesome. What else you got for me over there with Redbox?
Okay, so in terms of thrillers, the list just keeps on going. So another favorite thriller of all time, Basic Instinct. We actually have the sequel. And this is one of those movies where you go, why did I not know there was a sequel? There are so many films that were had amazing original franchise versions. And I think sometimes they overshadow any of the films that come after, unfortunately. And Basic Instinct 2 is one of those. Also written by Joe Esterhaus, who's a legend in Hollywood. Also starring Sharon Stone. David Morrissey from The Walking. What's that?
She was in the sequel as well.
She was in the sequel as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. So there's again another murder. Again, there's a psychiatrist who's trying to unravel the snake pit of Sharon Stone's mind. And he unfortunately gets caught up in the spidery web that is the young woman's life in that film. And it's really good. It's tense. It's taut. It's got everything you loved. The sexy heat of the first one. It carries over to the second one, and it's great. So highly recommended.
It's like it's bringing everything that you need. So listen, if you're looking for some of the thrillers, some of the heavy box hitters, some that have stood the test of time, and if you press play on them now versus 30 years ago, they're still good. Yes. And that's how you know you have a real episode on your hands.
Absolutely. And it just keeps going. We've got another one called The Ones Below. And this I'm really excited about. This is,
what is that about?
Starring Clemens Posey, who you might have seen in Tenet. Speaking of Christopher Nolan and Oppenheimer and all the excitement going on there. She was also in Bruges. And David Morrissey from The Walking Dead. Yeah. This one is actually one of my favorite thriller templates. So it's the couple who move into a building and they befriend another group in the building, and it ends up that what they think is going on is not at all what's going on. And so it's about a couple. They're expecting, in addition to their family, they meet this couple downstairs who are also expecting. And as the movie unwinds, it is not at all what you think it is. It is.
So everybody's expecting, but this isn't what you expected. Aha.
Exactly. You know what we're talking about. Yeah, it is
Oh man.
great. The
And so that's
ones
the ones
below.
And that's
That's
on
it.
Redbox as well.
Yep.
I'm with it. And I know you have a couple of the things listed on Crackle because I mean, Chicken Soup for the Soul, you got Redbox, Crackle.
Absolutely. So this month we've got a huge title with a huge star, and that would be, you don't get much huger, both figuratively and literally, than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
And this is San Andreas.
Okay.
So he plays a helicopter pilot. There is a huge earthquake in Los Angeles that basically splits the state down the middle, the San Andreas Fault, and he has to find his daughter and ex-wife and save them before the elements can claim them. So it's super action-packed. Of course, you'd expect nothing less than
Wait,
The
I'll
Rock.
try to do this way.
Oh, you've been practicing. I can tell. That's impressive. It's fantastic. It's a great Friday night popcorn movie, and that comes out August 22nd, and it's exclusively free on Crackle, so you can only see it free on our platform. But super fun action film. He's always eminently watchable, and this is no exception.
And I love the fact that you push free because families need to know that entertainment, you can get the best of the best for free when you come on over to Redbox, when you come on over to Crackle, when you come on over to Chicken Soup for the Soul. If you had to add one more to your list, what would it be on the Chris Woolsey's binge list? One more, what would it be? What would it be? What
Okay,
would it be?
all right. So this one is just super fun. It's goofy. I think everybody in the family will like it, especially if you've got kids that play a lot of video games. And this is another Crackle exclusive, Virtually Heroes. And this is cool for a number of reasons, but one is this is actually the lost Roger Corman film. So Roger Corman, legendary schlockmaster, low budget hero. He's a legend in Hollywood. And this movie premiered in 2013 at the Sundance Film Festival.
What?
Everybody loved it, and for whatever reason, it got put on a shelf and sort of just disappeared from view, as these things often do, until the heroes from our sister company, Screen Media, found it and polished it up and brought it out it had a limited theatrical release last year, as well as a transactional video on demand. I think it was on iTunes. And now for the first time, it is available on Crackle for free, starring Robert Baker from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Brent Chase from Bosch, and has quite a substantial cameo from a little guy by the name of Mark Hamill, who you might have heard of from a small franchise called Star Wars.
That sounds familiar. I can't recall, but yeah, it has a ring to it.
Ringing the bell. Yeah. So it's about two guys who realize that they are actually characters in a Call of Duty style video game. So they're going through this war experience, and all of a sudden they realize, wait a minute, we got killed yesterday and we're still alive today. What's going on? And so it's this hilarious action film about these guys who are like trying to figure out why they keep getting blown up and why they keep coming back to life the next day and how they can possibly get out of this whole mess. It's really fun. Yeah, it's great. Virtually Heroes. Probably haven't seen this anywhere else, but the comic book video game world is going nuts right now about this. So that will drop on Tuesday, August 1st.
Oh, look, countdown. Now, listen, don't think that you're getting off the hook because I need you back next week so we can get more added to our binge list. This isn't going to take us any time to go through. You know what I mean? Once we start watching,
100%.
it's sucked in. So we are all the way in. And how can we watch this on all of your streaming apps and devices and websites?
Yeah, if you go to your favorite app store, you can download the Redbox app, the Crackle app, Chicken Soup for the Soul. You can watch these on your smart TV, your tablets, your laptops. You can just go to crackle.com, redbox.com, or chickensouptv.com, and you can cast to any device. So check them out.
Look, I know you got more work to do, so I want you to chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Unbelievable. I will see you next week.
Yeah.
All right.